ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Okay, so let's start. I think the
Yeah,
topic was, this.
matchless gift.
The matchless gift, liberation in
Yes,
Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And then we will start from just a recap of one paragraph. Yeah. So this was the context. यज्ञानार्थात् कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोको अयं कर्म बंधनः तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचर. Krishna says this in chapter 2, sorry, 3.9. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work binds one to this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain unattached and free from bondage. So, any work that is not done as a sacrifice to Vishnu, that is binding. Either it will give positive result or negative. So binding means one has to come, one has to take another body to get the results of his karma, either positive or negative, whatever it is, or a mix of both. But if every work is done for sacrifice for Vishnu, then there is no positive or negative reaction to it. It's all for Vishnu. It's on his behalf, for him. When one acts for sense gratification, work entangles him, whether the work be good or bad. But if one works for Krishna, yajnanarthat karmano, he will be free, regardless of the possible desirability of his work. No, so even though we desire to do something, we like something doing, but even though if we just switch our consciousness to doing it for Krishna, although we are liking it, but we offer it to Krishna, then also we don't incur any reactions. Not only does Shukadev Goswami recommend unalloyed devotional service, but he further says that by devotional service, one's sinful activities will be negated. Every one of us is more or less sinful. For if we were not sinful, we would not have been put into material bodies. As soon as one is free from sinful life, he is liberated and transferred to the spiritual world in a spiritual body. The whole process is to cleanse oneself from contamination of sinful or material life. Shukadev Goswami said, "My dear king," so he's speaking with Parikshit Maharaj, "those who are sinful can become purified from contamination by tapa adibhi, practicing austerity." Shukadev also said, however, that no one can become completely purified by executing this process of austerity. There are many examples of yogis who practiced austerities but did not emerge completely pure. Vishwamitra Muni, for example, was a Kshatriya who wanted to become a Brahmana and therefore began to practice austerity. Later on, however, he became a victim of Menaka, a society girl for heavenly planets. Because Vishwamitra was not pure, he became entangled with her and begot a child. Therefore, it is said, even if one performs austerities and penances, worldly circumstances are so implicating that somehow or other they will involve one again and again in material modes of nature. So, like for example, we are working in a workplace, right? So for us, it is very, very important to remain really alert about modes, how they are, suddenly they come and possess us. Like, for example, we get angry about something in our workplace, or, we just compete with someone, envy or some jealousy comes in. So we need to be very, very alert about all these negative emotions, especially when we are navigating in the world, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can get trapped into it very easily. Because why Prabhupada is saying, because worldly circumstances are very, very implicating. Always. It's just like bacteria is always there, it is inside our body too. And as soon as our immunity goes down, the bacteria attacks and we fall sick. Similarly, the material energy is everywhere. Just bring your attention away from Krishna, and material energy will attack immediately. Yeah. There are many examples of sannyasis who give up the world, renouncing it is as false, saying that let me turn to Brahman. But they again become entangled in work of the world when they set up hospitals and perform philanthropic work and welfare activities. Like we see, like many sadhus, they just left the world to go into the forest and meditate, but they came back to do some welfare activity, because just to meditate on void is not satisfying. We want to give love and receive love. So there must be two parties, right? Somebody should be there on the other side also. So therefore, they don't understand that Krishna is there. So they just end up doing philanthropic activities. But that's not how far that will suffice, right? So we must know that there is Krishna on other side who can be our eternal friend, or we can share our love with him. If the world is false, why are they attracted to welfare activities? Right? They only say that world is false, so they are leaving this material world. But why do they come back then to do philanthropic activity? The philosophy of Krishna consciousness maintains that this world is not false, but that it is temporary. God creates this world, but He is true. So how can His creation be false? Because this is the creation of God, and God is the absolute truth. This creation is also true. We simply see it otherwise due to illusion. The world is a fact, but it is a temporary fact. A person may claim something within this world to be his property, but that is a false claim. It is a fact that it is someone's property, but it is God's property. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. This does not mean, however, that property is false. What is false is the claim to the property, which is based upon a puffed up false or proud false consciousness that individual is the proprietor, the master, or God. Everyone desires to be master or proprietor of something, then minister, then president, and then God. So, whoever wants to control today, their ultimate goal is to become Ishwar, or controller of everything, right?
Yeah.
That means God. Actually, it sounds really harsh, and people might say that, what are you talking about? But actually, it is sprouting from that same spirit to become a controller. Because people get angry at family members or outside somewhere to control the situation, to bring situation under how they want to do it. So this is Ishwar Bhav. When everything else fails, the living entity wants to become God. The tendency is there to want to become greatest of all. But the fact remains that God is the greatest and the living entity is small compared to him. This is a fact, whether anybody accept or not. The smallest is not false and the greatest is not false. But when the small thinks that he is great, then it is false. we understand from Vedic literature that Brahman or spirit is aniyam aniyam sam, smaller than an atom, or mahato mahiyam sam, greater than the greatest. As far as we can conceive, the space which contains the universe is the greatest, but Krishna has shown millions of universes in his mouth. So if you have watched that Narsimha movie recently, Mahavatar Narsimha, so in that Hiranyakashipu expands himself and he becomes huge, very, very huge. Nice. They have presented it very well. So he like captures the whole screen, like whole like clouds and sky, everything he captures, you know. But how they have presented it, that the camera, like, or whatever they have, it moves in such a way that he start looking very, very, very small, slowly, 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 because he is in the hand of Lord Vishnu, even after growing that much.
That big. Yeah.
So the living entity will remain small, always small, how much ever expands. As living entities, we are very minute, infinitesimal. The greatness of God cannot be comprehended by the living entities who are part and parcel of God. As living entities, we are very minute, infinitesimal, and God is infinite. Indeed, the magnitude of individual spirit soul is so microscopic that it cannot be seen. One cannot even imagine it with his material senses. Therefore, it is said that the spirit soul is smaller than an atom. Anor Aniyam Sham. Since the living entity and Krishna, the Supreme Lord, are both spirit, they are qualitatively one. That means Sat, Chit, and Ananda, three qualities. So Sat means eternal, Chit means full in knowledge, completely knowledgeable, and Ananda means always blissful. Okay, so this is the quality of a spirit soul. Why? Because this is the quality of Krishna. But the quantity is very small in spirit soul. I mean, these qualities are same, but quantity is very small. So Prabhupada gives the example of a gold ring, that like the gold mine is there where a lot of gold is there. But if you take a little bit of gold from there and if you make a golden ring, then qualitatively it is same gold, right? It is the same shiny gold of same value. But quantitatively, it is very minute. So, as a spirit soul, our value is being part and parcel of Krishna. That is our worth. Nothing else can prove our worth. Many times we get illusion that, oh, I couldn't perform in my job, or I didn't get a job, so I feel unworthy, right? But that's not right. My mentor told me one time I was feeling like that. Oh, I think I have not studied enough or something. I was saying because I don't have a job. But that Mataji told me that don't connect your worth with job. Job is like very temporary thing, right? Your real worth is being a part and parcel of Krishna. And why that worth is there? Because we are qualitatively same as Krishna. Imagine. The quantity is very minute, and therefore we act as a servant to Krishna. When we get connected with Krishna, align with his mission, then actually he completes us and we complete him. It's like that. This is beautiful science that
Yeah.
gives us a lot
And
of inspiration to be aligned with Krishna. Yeah.
yeah, I just heard it's like, no, like our body, we have eyes, ears, mouth, everything.
Hmm.
But the only purpose of this is to serve the whole body, right?
Beautiful.
Individually, that doesn't have any existence. Your
Absolutely.
eyes and everything is related, and you're serving your body. Similarly,
Yes.
we are the part and parcel of Krishna.
Yes.
So it's our duty to serve Krishna,
Absolutely.
to go in
Wonderful
the path
example.
of Krishna.
Yes.
So,
Yes. And there was a beautiful play we did one time. It is like a written script already. So in
mm,
ISKCON already, I mean, in ISKCON Desire Tree, there is a website. So we took it from there. So it was showing like how watering the root of a tree actually nourishes its branches, flowers, and fruits, everything, right? And the
Yes.
stem. And they don't have individual existence if we
Yes.
don't water the root, right?
Yeah.
Similarly, there was this beautiful drama which I was talking about, is like one time eyes and legs and mouth and everybody goes on strike. They say that only stomach gets to eat everything. Stomach gets everything. So
Yeah.
teeth say that, oh, I chew so nicely, that's why stomach is getting too big. The tongue says, I am testing everything, that's why the stomach is getting big. I say, but first I see the
I
food
saw.
first
Yeah.
of all. Right? So all are like fighting like this, and they say, okay, stomach is getting everything, so we will not do anything from today, we will go on a strike. Okay, so they all go on a strike. But what happens, that stomach has a lot of energy because it has a lot of food already, so nothing happens to stomach. But within 2 or 3 days, all these body parts start getting unconscious because
Yes.
they don't
Correct.
have anything. So then they start talking, oh, I am feeling very dizzy, what to do, what to do. So, slowly slowly they understand, no, we have to get connected with stomach again and we have to
Yes.
cooperate.
Yeah. Nice
Otherwise
one.
we will die, every one of us. So I mean, it's like a children play to explain to children what is the importance of serving Krishna. Because we are like you said, no individual body parts, they have no individual existence, so they
Correct.
all
Yeah.
serve stomach and then the whole body get nourished.
Yes.
So from that I remembered, beautiful example you gave, wonderful.
Yeah.
Hmm. In Brahma Samhita, okay, this fact can be accepted immediately on the basis of Vedic injunction. What? That qualitatively we are same. In Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Yasyaika Nishvasita Kalam Athavalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagadanda. Many millions of universes come out of God's body when he exhales, and they again disappear when he inhales. Simply by his breathing, millions of universes are created and dissolved. If this is the case, then how can the living entity claim proprietorship over anything? One's position is safe only in so far as he does not falsely declare himself to be God or proprietor. It has become fashionable to claim to be God, and fools accept such claims. But from the Vedic literatures, we understand that God is not so cheap. As long as we are not making puffed up, ego centered claims, we are already liberated. There is no need to actually seek liberation, right? So there are many people who are like just naturally humble. They don't prove too much significance of them, or they don't feel like, oh, showing off too much. They already are set into reality, so they don't require liberation, they are already liberated platform because they know God's position, right? But
Yeah.
as long as one thinks I am this body, he is not liberated. Because why it is being said, because when we consider ourselves as body, then we have many different desires and requirements, because all the needs sprout from this body, right? So we have a need of wearing good clothes, we have a need of eating good food stuff, seeing good things, smelling good perfumes, all those things, they are sprouting because we consider ourselves bodies. So therefore, like, we can see crazy, like, prices of things, like some perfume, little bottle is like $5,000 or something like that. So this is all crazy ness is going on because
Yeah.
people are thinking they are bodies. So that person is not liberated. He's entangled, actually. He's very entangled. Liberation means knowing perfectly well that one's self is separate from body. So, like, one time it was given an example that there is a coconut inside this coconut shell, right? So sometimes what happens, that this coconut is not taken for any use. So the inside coconut will like ripe and start getting dried off. right? And then it separates from that wall of the
Yes.
coconut, actually.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
when you shake it, you can actually hear a solid piece moving inside, right?
Yes.
But nobody has done anything to it. It is just a natural process. So our soul is like that inside coconut. It is away from the body. It is just living inside that room kind of a thing. But that is not the body actually.
Yeah.
Our
Yes.
soul is just temporarily living in this body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, therefore, Shukadev Goswami said, Prayaschittam Vimarshanam. Develop your knowledge that will give you relief. Right? So, what is real Prayaschitta? Real Prayaschitta is to know about Krishna. That who is Krishna? Who am I? What is my relationship? So, we should read scriptures every day.
Yeah.
Our knowledge, yes, you were saying something?
No. No. No.
Yeah. So our knowledge is perfect when we come to know that we are very small particles of spiritual sparks, and that God, the supreme, the greatest spiritual identity, supplies all our necessities. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. So whatever we think that, okay, we are bringing this or we are earning this or not, these things, but that is not the fact. Actually, Krishna is empowering us to do all those things. Nothing can happen by our own unless Krishna actually gives us power to do that, ability to do that. Our intelligence, everything is coming from Him. By knowing ourselves as minute particles, part and parcel of God, we can understand that our duty is to serve God. God is the center of all creation, of the whole universal body. He is the enjoyer, and we are His servitors. As this conception becomes clear, we become liberated. Liberation entails freedom from all false conceptions. It is not that upon liberation one acquires 10 hands. In Srimad Bhagavatam, liberation is defined as muktir hitvanyatha rupam. Mukti means to give up, and anyatha rupam means denotes a false conception of life. This is to say that when one is situated in his original constitutional position, having given up all false notions, he is liberated. So, actually, thinking that we are not this body, we are a spirit soul, and we are part and parcels of Krishna, therefore, we should serve him in alignment. So, this is called as position of liberation. Even while we are doing any work at home, in all the 24 hours, we can always remember that we are serving Krishna. We are serving Krishna. That's it. That will make our life perfect. Bilkul. This is also said in Srimad Bhagavatam that by acquisition of knowledge, one becomes liberated immediately. That knowledge can be very easily acquired, for it is simple. God is great and I am very small. He is the supreme proprietor supplying all necessities, and I am his servant. Who can challenge this? It is a fact. We are simply under the false impression that we are this or that, and this leads us to ultimate false impression that we are God. Yet we do not consider what manner of God we are. A small bodily disorder will send us to, to the physician. One who claims to be the supreme, therefore, should be understood to have fallen to the last snare of Maya. One who is thus fallen cannot even be liberated, for he is bound by false impressions. So, this is called as spiritual blindness. Means we
Yeah.
have eyes and everything, but if we consider what is our conception, that actually defines everything. And it is the hardest nut to crack, to change one's conceptions, you know.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Agree
So
to
we are
that.
fortunate that we have understood this fact, and we are trying to read Prabhupada's books, to understand more deeply and convince ourselves more deeply to go to a pure platform of service, right? But there are people who don't surrender to Krishna. They actually challenge Krishna. They don't like Krishna. They say that Krishna is a womanizer, and he's a stealer. He used to steal butter from people's house, and this kind of allegations they put on Krishna without knowing the facts. So they
Yeah.
are very, very unfortunate people. So for such people, what best we can do is we can just give them Krishna Prasadam, and they just get slowly purified by eating that prasadam. right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it for today. The time passes really fast.
Yeah, so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, mainly today we learned like how we are, what is our identity, and how we are part and parcel of Krishna, and why should we serve him, and how we are qualitatively equal with him.
Yeah. How much liberation you get, you cannot be equal to God, Lord
Yes.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Because how much ever liberation you get, you will be influenced by Maya at some point. But Krishna will
Absolutely.
never be. So that is the
Yeah.
because that is the external energy of Krishna that created the Maya, that we get all individual, all living entities influenced with that.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
at the
Prabhupada said no, that
yeah,
these people leave the world, but then come back again for
yeah,
philanthropic activities.
yeah. And the Virata Rupa that everyone will take a, like you said the example, right? In Narsimha movie, he took the Virata Rupa.
Yes.
But in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna asked to Krishna that I wanted to see your Virata Rupa, with his eyes he was unable to see that.
Yes.
He has got a eye, I mean, to vision, so that no, he can see that complete Virata Rupa of Krishna. Even
Yes.
with that, he was unable to see the completeness of Krishna. He was
No.
seeing that I'm seeing lots of eyes, lots of legs, lots of body, so
Yes.
many mouths, but still I'm unable to see where is the end, where is the middle, where is the beginning.
Mm.
So it
Yes.
is that huge. So even
Yes.
with that eye, Arjuna was unable to see. Just think
Yeah.
about we have the simple normal eye and we are thinking we are big. We
Yes.
can never be.
Unlimitedness of the Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah. We cannot fathom.
yeah.
Yeah,
That is
therefore the main application point for me is like we I need to get aware like how much humility I'm cultivating. And of course, when we surrender to Krishna, all qualities come in us, but we need to do a little deliberation also to cultivate these qualities. So Krishna sees our efforts. It is for pleasure of Krishna and Guru.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Guru is a must.
is a must. Yes.
Without
Oh,
a Guru, it's
absolutely.
difficult. I agree,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah, I see the change in my life. I mean, I was seeking, but I
Yeah,
got a direction only after I got a, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru.
yeah. That
Yeah,
is the same. No, I feel like I'm learning. I'm falling down. Again, I'm just standing up, and again, I'm just trying and just like
yeah,
I'm just
yes,
asking Krishna, like, give me that strength. Whatever
yes.
it is, I mean, like,
Hmm.
you will fall down. I'm pretty sure that everyone will fall down at some point, right? Like,
Absolutely.
if you
Maya
wanted to
is
do
right
good,
there.
but sometime, no, you feel like, no, the surrounding environment is like that, you'll again fall down
Yes.
to your.
Oh,
So that is the
yes.
only thing that I'm asking, like, no, give me that I should just, control my emotions. I should be like, no, doing the right thing.
Hmm. Yes,
Think everyone,
absolutely.
I mean, thinking Krishna is everywhere. I mean, should behave properly to everybody. Um,
Hmm.
However, the negative the environment outside it is. But
Yes. That's a
you
very
have to build
important
that.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to build that. So it'll take
Hmm.
time,
Yeah.
but the continuously you'll go with all these books or all this history, all this pastimes, and all these good things, good learnings. That
Yes.
will definitely change your thinking, right? Thought.
Absolutely. True.
That is why everyone is saying that no, go through these books. Just
Mm-hmm.
read it, read it, read it, read it. You'll get
Oh, yes.
some other thing at the end.
Absolutely. Every day we have to read. Every day. Yeah. I'm also praying that please, Krishna, give me strength. I understand I have to read every day, but some or the other way, too much
Yeah,
work on plate.
yeah, yeah. I know. I can. I know that. Yeah.
But I want to every day. Therefore, these reading clubs, I get to read by myself, for myself also.
No, but you are doing a great job, Mataji. I really appreciate whatever effort you are putting on. Like every day, some of the other, book
Some
reading
readings are
sessions.
there.
And you're
But yeah,
starting with Bhagavatam. I mean, I just really,
it's a
I
selfish
wish I
interest.
am feeling like joining, but I'm not sure because there are some of the other work is coming.
I understand.
But I would love to if you can add me to the group whenever it is possible. I will join.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
try.
yeah. I'm sharing the recordings there as well because that is also half an
Oh,
hour.
that will be yeah, that will be
Yeah.
great. I know anytime I can just go through that. If you can
Yeah.
add me to the group, I will.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'll add you,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Okay, Madhumita,
At
thank you so
last, thank you
much.
so much,
It's
Mataji.
a nice
Shivratri, Hare
association with you
Krishna.
always. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much.
always, always, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol.
Bye.
Bye, Shubharatri. Dayaram, can we just hop out of this call and join back?